here's our 7-day outlook.
This morning on Wake Up with Al, severe storms pushing through the nation's heartland, making a mess of Labor Day plans for millions. Mike Seidel brings the latest on the storm damage in central Iowa overnight. Plus, storm specialist Carl Parker weighs in on the greatest risk areas for this Labor Day. Hot, humid, and steamy. Get ready to battle the elements if you've got outdoor holiday plans in the South. We're going to let you know when storms could fire up today and where it could slow down your trip home. Plus, it's Survival Week here on the Weather Channel. Find out if you've got the skills it takes to survive the elements. Coming up right here, right now on Wake Up with Al.
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
Good morning on this last day to sleep in before everything gets back. We're talking work and school, September 1st, 2014. Welcome into Wake Up with Al. It's Labor Day and the first day of meteorological fall, though it's not going to feel like it across a big chunk of the country. Al is off today, enjoying Labor Day, but we're going to still have his top 3 for you, everything you need to know to get out the door. And we're going to start off with that threat for some stronger storms, Labor Day severe weather, a soggy northeast, and hot and humid throughout the southeast. So let's show you where we will see those storms. Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, where else? Missouri, Kansas, even maybe into northern portions of Oklahoma. Anywhere you see the red shading, you can see those storms. And we do have the threat for, again, more rain in the northeast. Yesterday just annihilated some people. It came in such a rush. The U.S. Open was shut down. In the south, the heat and also rain closing down some of those college football games this weekend. I know everyone was so excited for it, and we're just happy it's back, those of us that are big fans. Let's get to our top story, though, the severe weather threat. We'll get back to this heat and rain in a little bit. We have our live team coverage. Storm specialist Carl Parker in the lab in Atlanta, and Mike Seidel is joining us live in Denison, Iowa. First, let's start with Carl, and let's talk about the timing of these storms, Carl, and the greatest impacts. I don't think we're going to have a tornado outbreak, but you can never rule it out with this type of stuff.
No, that's exactly right, Steph. There certainly could be some tornadoes along 44 in particular into parts of Missouri, but it's mostly going to be a wind and hail threat today. And the system that's driving this is now in the northern plains. So here's a look at the water vapor picture, and there's the spin in the atmosphere right there. Now with this upper system, there's stronger mid and upper level wind that's coming in over top of warm and humid air that's flowing up here ahead of that cold front. So where all of that gets together, that's where we've got that severe weather threat. Now there are some ongoing storms this morning right along 49 and along 44. A lot of that is dying down, as is often the case. So we'll see these complexes go all night, and then when we get more mixing in the atmosphere, sometimes they are disrupted. And then here you've got another little area of storms, but nothing severe at this time. But later today, more towards the afternoon and the early evening, got a large area of concern for hail and wind. That means Chicago, Detroit, Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, Champaign-Urbana, back into St. Louis, and a slightly higher threat for tornadoes here along 44. A little more turning of the wind with height, and that's going to be in southern Missouri. In Chicago, talking about a threat for locally damaging winds, hail, and some fairly heavy rain coming in, at least in some spots there across the metro area. Well, we had a rough one yesterday in the middle of the country, and Mike Seidel reports on that from Denison, Iowa.
Severe thunderstorms rolled through parts of the plains and Midwest on Sunday, and here in Denison, about an hour and a half northeast of Omaha, we took some pretty good wind gusts. 63 miles an hour was the official measurement. We had wind gusts reported as high as 70, even 80 miles an hour. And here you can see the results. We had sporadic tree damage around town. Now, this is a Bradford pear, not known to be the sturdiest tree, especially when it gets some height. It was snapped by that wind, but the one behind it and behind that are in okay shape. So some cleanup this morning here in Denison. Take you back to that cell and look at this pretty picture, but also notice those lightning bolts coming down, those cloud-to-ground lightning bolts. This was a supercell, and they did put out a tornado warning, but nothing was sighted. It was based on rotational and Doppler radar, but the rain came down fast and furious. 2 to 3 inches of rainfall in about 2 hours across this area, and this area has had a very wet summer. Nearby Sioux City, Iowa, their wettest meteorological summer on record. That's June, July, and August. Over 30 inches of rain, and over in Des Moines, they've had almost a foot of rain in August. Back here in Denison, the sun is back out today. Temperature's about 80. Next chance of storms comes in with another cold front later on this week. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Mike. That's what's going on in the Midwest. How about the Northeast? Some nasty storms in through New England and into New York City yesterday. Bronx today, spotty storms, temperatures in the mid-80s. Best chance of storms in the afternoon. Going to be really, really juicy, really humid. Take a look at our visible satellite imagery, and you can see it's clear in places like Boston and then down into Connecticut, but some clouds starting to kind of bubble up here into parts of Pennsylvania. That's that humidity working. So if we run our high-resolution model, you'll see these kind of popcorn showers and storms popping up through the afternoon. So not everyone will get hit by them, but they could roll through later in the afternoon. Then they tend to kind of fizzle during the overnight hours as the sunlight drives that instability. When the sun goes down, you see less of these showers and storms around. So we're not anticipating many severe storms today, but it could be kind of a classic summer day as far as the heat and also the warmth as that moist flow continues across the eastern seaboard. How about the southeast? Well, you know what? You probably don't want to go outside too much today. Do running, maybe biking. You can get away with biking. It always amazes me down here in Atlanta. I see people 3 in the afternoon who are jogging. Really? Could have got up earlier. It's kind of hot down here. It's not really worth it. That's kind of the deal across the southeast, really for the next couple of days. Pretty typical stuff. You know, in the northeast, being from there, when Labor Day comes around, you think summer's over. It's not really the case down across the southeast, as it will continue for another month and a half with these warm temperatures. Let's take a look at what's going on just today across the southeast. A chance of showers and storms. You know, a tale of two different Floridas. Miami, wettest June, July, August on record, and then driest on record up in Tallahassee. So it kind of depends where you were. Through today, showers and storms down across Florida, maybe southern Georgia. Atlanta, some debris, cloudiness around. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s by tonight. Not a whole lot going on. Temperatures back into the 70s. And it's humid, but you knew that. That's what we do down here. Atlanta, it looks like a lot of clouds through the day. If we get rid of any of these clouds, we'll pop above 90 pretty quickly. The chances of that happening, though, pretty low, as again, a lot of clouds kind of building through the day. By 11 o'clock, it's down to 78 degrees. Steph?
Well, I know you don't want to think this early in the morning, but we have a little quiz for you. As part of Survival Week here on the Weather Channel, we're testing your survival skills with our So You Think You Could Survive, You'd Survive quiz. For today's question, we hit the ocean and asked, do you know what to do if caught smack in the middle of a massive swell headed your way? Take a look, and then after the break, after you look on the 8s, we have the answer.
Every surfer dreams of catching the perfect wave. Now imagine that lucky surfer is you. You've just hopped on a liquid roller coaster. But your sweet ride is about to end. Wipeout is inevitable. Now's the time to ask, do you know how to survive the crash? Should you A, hold on tightly to your board, B, jump flat into the water by belly flopping, or C, jump off your board in a cannonball position?
Fact. Every time you take Advil liquid gels, you're taking the pain reliever that works faster on tough pain than extra strength Tylenol. And not only faster, stronger too. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil. Fact. Every time you take Advil, you're taking the medicine doctors recommend most for joint pain. More than the medicine in Aleve or Tylenol, the medicine in Advil is the #1 doctor recommendation for joint pain. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
Ellen?
What?
I just got an email about a sale on flights to Paris, but it's about to end.
Oh.
I can't find a notepad with passwords on it.
Maybe the den.
My bedside table?
I'll check.
Never mind. Sale's over.
Meet Dashlane, the solution to your password problems. Access your passwords everywhere and automatically log into every site, all with ironclad security. Trusted by millions. Go to Dashlane.com and get it for free today.
Hi, I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert, reminding you that Survival Week continues tonight at 8 with back-to-back episodes of Hurricane 360, followed by So You Think You'd Survive at 10. Prepare to survive with Survival Week all this week on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, scattered thunderstorms. High 88. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 78. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather Geeks, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
Sensitive skin needs a little extra attention. Venus Embrace Sensitive, more than a strip. An entire ribbon of gliding gels surround 5 comfort-coated blades for less irritation. Venus Embrace Sensitive, a perfect match for sensitive skin.
Fall is the time when you jump back into your routine and enjoy a few time-honored traditions. Pep Boys will put you back in the driver's seat with the biggest savings of the season. Right now, get 40% off synthetic oil. Or let the boys do it for you with $10 off a synthetic oil change. And take advantage of coupons on Pro Stop do-it-yourself brake pads. Or save $50 instantly with our 2-wheel precision match brake service. This fall, get back up to speed with help from the boys.
Who could resist the call of America's #1 puppy food brand? With DHA and essential nutrients also found in mother's milk. Purina Puppy Chow.
Minutes past the hour. Welcome back into Wake Up with Al. It's Survival Week here on the Weather Channel. Before the break, we asked you if you knew what you would to do if you were caught smack in the middle of a massive swell headed your way. Here's the answer.
And here you are, riding a giant wave until you can't hang 10 any longer. Do you know what you do to survive this monster wipeout? Make sure you hold your breath and choose C, leap feet first in a cannonball.
The best way to wipe out is to try and get away from your board into the face of the wave. You want to get underneath that wave of that energy so it doesn't pick you up and just trash you.
The average person can hold their breath for over a minute, and you may need to while making your way to safety.
When you're under the water, tuck yourself into a ball, protect your head and neck if there's a reef on the bottom so that you don't drill your head off the bottom. When you do come up, always, always, always come up hands first. Protect your head, your face, your neck from your board, from somebody else that might be behind you. The less you do, the more you relax, the better you're gonna float. If you stay relaxed and stay calm, you'll keep your head.
Sure, just stay relaxed and calm when that monster wave is eating you alive. Stay with us all this week right here on the Weather Channel for more tips on survival. Our jaws were on the ground watching that. Impressive that those guys can do with those waves. All right, let's have a look at the Southeast. A lot of people, a lot of surfers here in the Southeast. You know, I grew up in Florida, so we used to go to try to be like, can you teach us how to surf? Because, you know, the surfers were always so cute. And play volleyball, all that sort of stuff. Anyhow, here's a look at our hour by hour in the Southeast. Showers and storms thanks to a high pressure pulling up the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, running into a front that's dropping southbound from the Midwest. And that's where we're going to see some of those stronger storms. But midweek, it's going to bring some rain into the Southeast here from the Mississippi River all the way down into the Carolinas. So tomorrow, more scattered showers and storms. You know, we really haven't had a summer, but it's going to feel like it into the Southeast. We're still going to be feeling that heat and humidity as well, and it sticks around into our Wednesday. Another guy who used to go flirt with the surfers on the beach growing up, Reynolds Wolf.
My secrets, you're letting everyone know my secrets, Stephanie. One of the big secrets that we have is in parts of the South, it's probably not too much of a secret. We're going to have heat today. We're going to have humidity, too, and maybe some storms, but the biggest, baddest storms right here where you see the red. Across parts of the nation's heartland moving into the Great Lakes could get pretty loud and delays could follow, too. We're going to follow the rain showers tomorrow, making their way up into the Northeast, some on the Gulf Coast, but pretty quiet for the Central Plains. And then on Wednesday, still still quiet for much of the central Rockies. Northern Rockies going to get some rainfall action and more rain for the deep south, too. Keep the umbrellas handy on Thursday because you're still going to need them across the south. Moving into the western and central Great Lakes. New England, nice, quiet, beautiful. Temperatures in the 80s on your Thursday in both New York and in Boston. Out to the west, it still remains dry for Napa Valley into San Luis Obispo and San Francisco. But take a look at the rain showers moving nearly into 2/3 of the country. Then by the time Saturday comes around, you know, just draw a line from California-Oregon border clear across, and you're going to have one side that's going to be relatively dry, everything south. So you have at least a chance of some sporadic shower activity. Some of this could be heavy, especially into the Appalachians in your Sunday. Into the Carolinas, could have the raindrops there too. Well, Stephanie, that's a look at what you can expect over the next several days. But for the south, rain's going to be almost a constant, at least a chance. Back to you, Steph.
All right, Reynolds, thank you. For some, Labor Day means a day at the beach, barbecue, or lounging up on the couch. But for thousands of others, it's something different and very unique as well. The sci-fi event that drew thousands to the southeast and why they felt a need to costume it up in the searing heat. There's nothing like being hot and then having a wig on and, you know, thick material. Ay, ay, ay. Auburn, Alabama, good morning to you.
When I had my first migraine, I was lucky. That sounds crazy, I know, but my mom got migraines, so she knew this would help. Excedrin Migraine starts to relieve my pain in 30 minutes, plus sensitivity to light, sound, even nausea. Excedrin Migraine works.
Makers of Excedrin Migraine, #1 neurologist recommended.
California is known for its grapes, and so is my family. Over 3 generations have taught us about growing the best tasting fruit. Our grapes ripen on the vine so that the flavors can fully develop, and only the most experienced hands harvest them to bring quality fruit to your table. That's why we work with Walmart. Together we guarantee you only get the freshest grapes available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
Picked by farmers, guaranteed by us.
So, I'm walking down the street, just, you know, walking, and I found myself in the middle of this parade honouring America's troops, which is actually quite fitting because Geico has been serving the military for over 75 years. Oh, no, look, I know this is about the troops and not about me, right, but I don't look like that. Who can I write a letter to about this?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome to No Man's Land. It's a place you've been before, but it's not on any map. So go out there, lose yourself, and find the truth. We're all born wild. Let's keep it that way. The 2014 4Runner. Toyota. Let's go places.
This is Conley, Cameron, Zach, and Clementine.
We have a serious hairball issue.
We clean it up and turn around, and there it is again. It's scary. A little bit in my eye.
Underneath the kitchen table, underneath my work desk, we've got enough to knit a sweater. Zach, what is that? Oh, the Swiffer sweeper.
It's like the Swiffer dusters. It's some sort of magic cloth that sucks in all the dog hair.
It's quick and easy. Pretty amazing that I picked it all up. I would totally take on another dog.
Really?
Every day this week, the Weather Channel is all about surviving the worst. One goal, to stay alive. Every night, vicious weather puts people to the test in powerful shows you can't afford.
Living with chronic migraine feels like each day is a game of chance. I wanted to put the odds in my favor, so my doctor told me about Botox, an FDA-approved treatment that significantly reduces headache days for adults with chronic migraine. 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. It's proven to actually prevent headache days, and it's injected by my doctor once every 3 months.
The effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't take Botox if you have a skin infection. Tell your doctor about your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Put the odds on your side. Visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com to learn how to save on your treatment. Talk to a headache specialist today about Botox.
For $19 and Ray-Ban sunglasses for just $85.
Weather Geeks. Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, tonight, mostly clear, low 78. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
At just about 20 past the hour, happy Labor Day morning, and we want to help you plan your holiday. So let's take a look at some events. We have the New York State Fair happening. It's going to be dry for that, at least into the early morning hours there in the Cuse. Also, we have Lutherville, the Maryland State Fair. We could see some thunderstorms. Temperature is not that bad, though. It could be a lot worse. I mean, let's just hope it's not raining vomit. You don't want to, like, eat that fair food and then go on the ride. And I'm only talking from personal experiences. That's why I know that so well. Minneapolis, Minnesota State Fair in St. Paul. Storms in the morning and then clearing out, but a beautiful day temperature-wise to be walking around the fair. And then into the Vermont area, it's going to stay very pleasant for the fair or cooking or whatever it is that you may be doing. Maybe dressing as a dragon like they did in Atlanta at Dragon Con. And it's been so hot down there. Imagine then putting on dragon gear. For more on this popular multimedia pop cultural convention, we want to go to Kate Parker. And Kate, I really hope that you joined in the festivities and you dressed as a dragon.
Oh my gosh, I wish that I had dressed up as something. You know, you have thousands of science fiction fans that just are swarming Atlanta. This continues through today for the Dragon Con convention. So I did go out. I got my geek on. I put on my little Star Wars shirt, but I went to go find out how cosplayers were handling the costumes plus temps in the 90s. And not even the captain of the Starship Enterprise was immune to this heat. Take a look.
And stay humid. I have no problems with heat. I do have problems with humidity. And by the way, are allergies common? Dragon Con 2014!
Too hard. You gotta be careful with the weather because you don't want to overheat yourself and pass out.
Scooby, what do you think about this weather?
It's hot. It's way hot.
I packed a lot of different costumes for Dragon Con.
For the Emperor!
And I definitely left behind some of the ones that are really heavyweight. I thought, you know, this would be a little cooler given that it's pretty hot around here.
All they need is too much heat and then they melt. Hot glue, bad. Hot glue is bad.
Jon Snow, the weather in Atlanta is a little different than the wall. How are you handling this?
I was told winter was coming. It's not here yet.
What do you think about this weather here in Atlanta with that big costume on? Are you melting underneath all these layers?
Oh, I started sweating before I finished getting dressed.
Lord Eddard Stark, the words of your house are winter is coming. Why is that?
Because winter is coming.
What would you have to say to our winter weather expert, Tom Nizzle, about what's going on this upcoming winter?
Prepare, dress warm. It's going to be long.
I think that everybody wants winter to be here with all this heat that was going on. And I got to tell you, Steph, they were troopers. You had all that costuming on, all that makeup on. I mean, people were wearing literally like sheepskin. It was a lot, and they somehow stayed cool. They had a lot of fun.
It's a serious business. You know, a lot of them have superpowers, and yeah. I don't know if that could mess them up or maybe it just made people melt anyhow. All right, let's have a look at our tropical update now with Carl Parker. And Carl, I did not see anyone dressed up as a hurricane or a tornado, but maybe a hurricane would have been a good idea and have just rain pouring on you to cool you off.
Yeah, not a bad idea, and that might be what we're facing in a couple of areas in Mexico in the coming days. And I want to show you this InVest that's now being looked at by the National Hurricane Center, given a a 70% chance of developing in the next 5 days. And it's interesting because this one is likely going to travel off to the north and to the west. The question then is just how close to the coast is it going to get? A lot of thunderstorm activity associated with it right now. And here is one of our model forecasts. This is the GFS model, the American model, showing a pretty good circulation south of Cabo later this week. So this is going into Thursday, right in there. And then another model, the European model, is also showing a circulation south of Cabo. So it is possible that we could see some real impacts there in Cabo San Lucas. But I will tell you that a lot of the ensemble members of the modeling taking the storm more offshore. So we've got a lot to pay attention to here over the next few days. Back to you.
All right, Carl, thank you. Damaging wind, hail, heavy rain, and even the threat of a tornado, all on tap for millions of you this Labor Day as you celebrate your holiday where storms could pop up at a notice. And we have storm specialist Carl Parker talking about severe weather. We come back as well.
Hey, pal. You ready? Can you pick me up at 6:30?
I'm here.
Too late.
I'll go for 5 minutes. Move it. Killing me. You know what, Dad? I'm good.
It may be quite a while before he's ready, but our Subaru Legacy will be waiting for him.
The longest-lasting midsize sedan in its class. Introducing the all-new Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
From residential to commercial, from large loss to emergency response. Whenever damage strikes, call on the cleanup team that's faster to any size disaster at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
This is Kathleen. Setting up the perfect wedding day begins with her arthritis pain and 2 pills. Afternoon arrives and feeling good, but her knee pain returns. That's 2 more pills. The evening's event brings laughter, joy, and more pain. When Jamie says,
"What's that, like 6 pills today?"
"Yeah.
I can take 2 Aleve for all-day relief.
Really?
And that's it.
This is Kathleen.
For my arthritis pain, I now choose Aleve.
Get all-day arthritis pain relief with an easy open cap.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
So we've had a Tempur-Pedic for a while, but now that we have the adjustable base, it's even better.
I'm go up.
Discover how Tempur-Pedic can move you. And now through September 7th, save up to $500 on a Tempur-Pedic mattress and adjustable base.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
You can eat that on Weight Watchers? Looks amazing. Looks like my next dinner party. That's only 4 points.
With Weight Watchers, you can enjoy the food you really want. Dine out on favorites or cook up something new.
I can do this every day.
Join for free and start losing weight now. Learn how to eat healthier while enjoying the foods you love. Get inspired at meetings, online, or both. Hurry, and if you join by September 13th, you'll get a free starter kit.
Weight Watchers, because it works.
Right on cue.
It's more than just a meal. It's Meow Mix Mealtime. With great taste and 100% complete nutrition, it's the only one cats ask for by name.
Hi, I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert, reminding you that Survival Week continues tonight at 8 with back-to-back episodes of Hurricane 360, followed by So You Think You'd Survive at 10. Prepare to survive with Survival Week all this week on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, scattered thunderstorms. High 88. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 78. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
For their biggest season yet. An all-new season of Prospectors, coming in December on the Weather Channel.
This morning on Wake Up with Al, severe weather takes aim on the center of the country just as millions hit the road for Labor Day travel. Meteorologist Mike Seidel has the latest on storm damage in central Iowa, and storm specialist Carl Parker has the timing and potential impacts for your Labor Day threat. Meanwhile, get ready for a hot and humid day across the South. Who will see temperatures soar into the 90s, and it's going to feel like it's in the triple digits? We'll let you know. Plus, ready, set, go. The rush is on. Get in that last bit of summer fun this Labor Day. We've got some tips on how to make it to and from your final trip of the season right here, right now on Wake Up with Al.
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
Good morning to you on this Monday, September 1st, 2014. Welcome into Wake Up with Al. Al is off enjoying this Labor Day holiday, but we have great weather to tell you about for the last 3-day weekend before everyone heads back to work and school. So let's show you where we are going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly in our top 3. Of course, we do have the severe weather threat, a little bit soggy to the northeast, and still hot and humid in the south. At least it feels like summer in the south. A lot of places it hasn't even felt like summer. So anywhere you see the red shading in the Great Lakes, also back toward the plains, hail, damaging winds. Can't rule out a tornado, but we don't anticipate a tornado outbreak. Into the northeast, basically a repeat of what we saw yesterday. Hit and miss showers that could be really, really heavy at times. We had the U.S. Open that was suspended yesterday. And in the south, college football was affected by the rain, and then we have the heat and humidity still sticking around. We're going to get into more detail about this, but first we want to talk about the severe weather threat. We have live team coverage. We have Mike Seidel, who's live in Iowa this morning. We're going to get to him in just a minute, but first we're going to start with Carl Parker to talk about the timing of the storms. Carl, we do have a little bit of rain right now, but the daytime heating, that's really going to ramp things up.
Yeah, that's right. That's really key, and we expect things to get going this afternoon and this evening, all being driven by a pretty powerful upper-level disturbance that's now coming across the northern plains. So here's the water vapor image. We use this type of satellite picture to show us these mid and upper-level features, and then right in there is that strong feature, and associated with that are stronger upper and mid-level winds. So when we get those coming out and over top of warm and humid air that comes up from the Gulf of Mexico, that is what sets the stage for severe weather, which is going to be right in there. There are some ongoing storms this morning. They are not severe. Some heavier rain around Springfield, where winds did gust to nearly 50 miles per hour earlier today, and then more storms now coming up through parts of Wisconsin. So here is the area of concern, and it's a pretty large area of primarily wind and hail threats. That's going to extend from the southern lakes, Chicago, Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, back down into St. Louis, and then right in here where there's a little more turning of the wind, that's where there's a bit more of a tornado threat along 44 there in southern parts of Missouri, but it's not a really high tornado threat. And in Chicago today, talking about afternoon storms, locally damaging winds, could be some very heavy rain and some hail along with that. Our Mike Seidel reporting on the severe weather that occurred this weekend in the plains, and he has this from Denison, Iowa.
Although there was a tornado watch out for parts of Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, and South Dakota Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, there were no reports of any twisters, and nobody's complaining about that. In fact, in August, nationwide, according to Dr. Greg Forbes, the preliminary count is 26. If that number holds, that'll be the least amount of tornadoes in August in 57 years. Back here in Denison, we're about an hour and a half northeast of Omaha. We had some straight-line wind damage. You can see that. This is a Bradford pair split a couple ways. The official wind measurement here in Denison was 63 miles an hour. We had a higher gust in the area. And then look at the rainfall. This is a time lapse of that heavy tropical rain that came in. It was raining over an inch, 2 inches an hour, some spots picking up 3 or 4 inches of rainfall. And the totals were prolific in August. Many communities having double-digit rainfalls. And over in Sioux City, Iowa, now their wettest meteorological summer on record with over 30 inches of rain. We're done with that. We've got some sunshine this morning. It's going to be a sunny, pretty nice day here in the Corn Belt with highs around 80. Back to you.
Thanks, Mike. Just a month after a tornado ripped through a suburb in a Boston community, residents in Massachusetts are cleaning up again after another tornado. It happened in Worcester yesterday. Jennifer Egan from our affiliate WHDH has the latest.
As a lot of people wake up this morning, this is going to be what they find. This is the cleanup that they're going to have to do. Tree branches that came down. Also, if we take a look up at this tree that's behind me here, you can see a lot of the limbs were snapped off. That's what you're going to find in and around different parts of the city here. This tornado touched down around 8:10 last night in the Vernon Hills section of Worcester. It then cut a path about 2 miles long, heading northeast through the city. Not a whole lot of damage to homes here, but if you take a look at this building, you can see there's a tree branch that went right through a window. A couple of windows shattered as well. It was those flying tree branches that did a lot of the damage. Some of them came down on top of cars, crushed cars. The good news here, though, no one was injured in any of this. The National Weather Service, they had a crew out here last night. Again, as JR was mentioning a moment ago, they said this was an EF0 tornado. It still did do some damage, though. Took down some power lines. National Grid says they have about 350 people without power here this morning. They are working to restore that power. We've seen crews around the city here this morning. Again, no one hurt in any of this. Just quite a bit of cleanup to do.
Thank you. Now, Atlanta, we want to show you all the heat and humidity you're going to deal with. And Atlanta's just a representation of the entire Southeast because we are all feeling the heat through midweek here. Highs 5 to 10 degrees above average, and that's what it says on the thermometer. That doesn't even factor the heat index on top of it. So look at this. Today, it's going to feel like it's 101 in Jackson, Mississippi, and you know there is no breeze in Jackson, Mississippi to cool you off. Tallahassee, the same for you as well. Tomorrow, it's going to feel right around 100 for essentially the entire Southeast. But don't worry, things are going to be cooling off. Well, time now for a check of our morning headlines. For that, we're going to bring in Richard Louie from MSNBC.
Yes.
Richard.
Good Labor Day to you, Steph. Yes. And this is what we're watching on MSNBC. There's a dicey truce. It just got a little bit dicier. Israel has gone on a huge land grab, seizing 1,000 acres on the West Bank near Bethlehem. Reports claiming here Israel's move is a part payback. 3 Jewish teens were kidnapped and killed by Hamas in the area in June. It could be the first test of the NFL's tougher rules. San Francisco 49er Ray McDonald was arrested for domestic violence. He's accused of beating his pregnant fiancée. If found guilty, he will sit out 6 games, but it could be more since the alleged victim is pregnant. Then finally, it was Trump's time. The Donald taking part in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Who's that next to him? He has Miss Universe. He's got Miss USA. Both of them there. Trump has now challenged President Obama and his sons Donald and Eric. How's his hair there?
I knew. Look, I think he purposely got it on the hair so he could brush it back to show everybody that's his real hair.
I think you're right.
See, look,
there he
watch.
Pulls it back.
See?
Yeah. He's got
now we can let his hair be at rest.
Quite the mane he's got. He should donate money, though. What, $100 million so far they've raised? Why not another $100 million?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did. I donated.
Yeah, there you go.
Instead of
You've been
pouring
challenged
ice on my
100
head.
times.
All right, now for more on your day ahead, let's go back to Keith Carson in Atlanta.
All right, thanks, Steph. Let's take a look at what's going on across the Midwest today. Some showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be strong to severe in through, say, Chicago later this afternoon. Main threats would be some damaging straight-line winds and some hail. So you see it rumbling through here 2, 3 in the afternoon, and then kind of continuing through the early evening hours and then clearing out behind it. So should be relatively narrow band, but we could have some trouble later on tonight, and that will continue in Chicago here. We got 5, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then by 11, most of the time these showers and storms kind of dwindle later on in the evening. That'll be the case across the Midwest as well. How about the West Coast? You know, we're not annoying the West Coast. We love you. There's just really nothing going on. It's very, very quiet. California could use some rain. Their drought continues to be a big problem. Not going to happen. It's going to be dry here over the next couple of days. San Francisco coming into the 70s, which is pretty average for them. 84 in Los Angeles. By the way, the southwest monsoon, big over the past couple of months, starting to settle down. You see less and less shower and thunderstorm activity there during the afternoon hours. Steph?
Thank you. Players, coaches, and fans eager for the first college football game of the season had to be extra patient during some of Saturday's matchups. And the Auburn Tigers hosted the Arkansas Razorbacks, and lightning caused nearly an hour-and-a-half delay in the game with just 10 minutes left on the clock in the 4th. Auburn went on to beat the Razorbacks 45-21. The SEC rule play can resume 30 minutes after lightning has left the area. Florida's game got canceled altogether. So what will they do about that with the new playoff system? We're going to have to find out. Coming up, we're talking travel troubles.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, scattered thunderstorms. High 88. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 78. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The time when you jump back into your routine and enjoy a few time-honored traditions. Pep Boys will put you back in the driver's seat with the biggest savings of the season. Right now, get 40% off synthetic oil, or let the boys do it for you with $10 off a synthetic oil change. And take advantage of coupons on ProStop do-it-yourself brake pads, or save $50 instantly with our 2-wheel precision match brake service. This fall, get back up to speed with help from the boys.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this.
Danger.
You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are Farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Call 1-800-FARMERS and see how much you could save.
Presenting luxurious savings at Ace.
What?
This weekend, get $5 off instant savings with your Ace Rewards card on gallons of Clark & Kensington, Royal, Valspar Optimus, and Valspar Aspire.
Ace is a place to help the hardware folks.
Get up and go. Enjoy every minute of playtime and fun. For 4 days only at PetSmart, save 50% on hundreds of items, like dog treats, rawhide, and select Martha Stewart Pets products. PetSmart.
This is the kind of chicken your mom would make if she hand-breaded chicken that was delivered right to her door, and if she had a pressure cooker in her kitchen, and if she knew the combination to the vault in Kentucky, where they keep Colonel Sanders' secret recipe. Yep, this is the kind of chicken she would make. But she doesn't have to. It's done. You're welcome, Mom.
Fact. Every time you take Advil, you're taking the medicine doctors recommend most for joint pain. More than the medicine in Aleve or Tylenol, the medicine in Advil is the #1 doctor recommendation for joint pain. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
You're finally here. Long way from the Sandlot. First game in the majors? You don't know ARP, because this family is enjoying a cross-country baseball stadium trip they planned online at AARP Travel. It's where your journey begins with inspiration, planning, booking, and hot travel tips from real pros. If you don't think seize the trip when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Find more surprising possibilities and get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
I've got one shot. Let's go Twins right, 24 stretch.
24 stretch, all diamond. Twins right, 24 stretch. All diamonds on 2 ready.
When the game's on the line,
Hit them with a hard count. See if they'll tip their hand.
the NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
They're blitzing up the gut. Get out of the pocket.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Let's do the one thing that changes everything. And let's start at the place with more #1 choices than any other store. Save on select Glidden paint. $10 off cans and $40 off buckets. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Now, according to the American Automobile Association, that would be AAA, more Americans took to the roads this weekend than any Labor Day since 2008. I caught up with Robert Sinclair Jr. of AAA New York to dig a little deeper into those numbers and offer a few tips for getting home today. Okay, so Robert, you always come visit us, but we have any new information? We always talk at AAA, the numbers, the gas prices, or whatever. I need something new, dude.
Boy, I get tired of the numbers, too. Probably. What's new is that we've got the lowest gas prices since 2010 for the holiday, and the greatest number of travelers since the recession hit in 2008. So we're at $3.46 a gallon. That's 10 cents lower than we were last year, and the lowest since 2010, when the gas prices were $2.70. We ain't going back there anytime soon, but we're lower. And
I remember when it was 99 cents, so...
I remember 24, so...
You win there. Let's talk about the holiday weekend. It started in August opposed to September, which, does that kind of mess things up a little bit?
No, actually, it generally means more people are traveling. And I think we're seeing that borne out with slightly more traveling this year, about 35 million, 1% higher than last year. It comes down to the economy. People need money to travel, and some consumer indices, the 2 out of the 3 are up. GDP is up, household net worth is up. But what's interesting is that consumer spending is up, but income is kind of flat. So we're speculating that people are dipping into their credit cards to be able to take this last hurrah.
You talked about new cars. Are there any new gadgets out there on these cars, or anything that can help with weather, like any new, blades for the windshields, or anything fancy like that?
Well, there's lots of gadgets, probably too many. I write the test drives for the magazine of AAA New York, and we're seeing lots of gadgets. And in fact, we have a study coming out that's looking at the effect of gadgets on distracted driving, step 2 of that study. But it's just so many things happening. The car will practically drive itself.
It'll park itself.
It'll park itself, and in some cases, on some vehicles, the new Acura MDX, it'll actually drive itself. It's got lane departure warning. I wouldn't do it, but it does have that technology to be able to do those things. What's new is that now there's technology built into the cars coming from GM and Ford that allow you to track a teen driver in real time, to impose limits where they can drive, a fence to sort of keep them in.
What, do they get shocked like a dog, like those dog fences?
Right. No, actually, audible warnings go off, and you can get a warning via your computer or your cell phone to let you know that they're exceeding a speed, going where they shouldn't.
Can we just, make old new again and play I Spy?
Yeah, let's just teach people how to drive well, and they wouldn't have to have all these things.
All right, Robert Sinclair, always enjoy having you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, I Spy, our next segment coming up. Well, we now want to go over to Reynolds Wolf with more on what we can expect over the next 7 days. Now, Reynolds has like a gaggle of children. I mean, can you guys even take a road trip? Do you have to rent like an 18-wheeler to get all the kids in there?
Oh, we can definitely take a road trip, but my face looks very different by the end as it does when we're pulling out of the driveway. It is crazy times in the Wolf vehicle for the Wolf Pack. Hey, guys, take a look. Tough driving today across parts of the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. Thunder boomers could be awfully loud, dropping a lot of rain, maybe some small hail, boom, thunder. You'll have that, possibly big fireworks display in the sky above from all the lightning. We might see that tomorrow spilling over into the Tennessee Valley and Gulf Coast. By Wednesday, it's going to be the eastern part of the country, with the exception of the Great Lakes and into the Northeast. It will be relatively dry and in some places fairly cool. That's going to be the case in Billings. 66 degrees on your Thursday. Still seeing the raindrops in the south moving into the Great Lakes again. Friday, the bulk of the rain shower activity moves into the Central Plains. Still holding on to the Gulf Coast and mid-Atlantic. But then by Saturday, notice we're seeing still very dry conditions out towards the west, but then into Sunday, very dry for the northern tier of states. Southern tier, different story. It's like all rainy for you. All right, Steph, let's get back to you.
All right, thanks, Reynolds. Tropics are brewing, and the Gulf is getting a little steamy. Are we days away from Dolly? Hurricane specialist Carl Parker lets us know.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert. Every Sunday night, we're taking 3 regular guys deep into the woods. Are you serious? Where we'll teach them not just to survive, make fire, but how to truly live. Look at this caveman.
Show yourself what you're made of on Weather Channel Survival Sundays. At 9, it's So You Think You'd Survive. Then at 10, Fat Guys in the Woods. Every Sunday night on the Weather Channel.
Are you ready? Off the couch, into the weather.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, tonight, mostly clear, low 78. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
When your house loses power, it can be tough for your family. But not if your family has a Kohler generator. Restores power automatically in as little as 10 seconds and is backed by a 5-year limited warranty. Kohler generators. Keep your family flowing.
When the power goes out, you'll go on. Contact your Kohler Generators dealer today.
When I had my first migraine, I was lucky. That sounds crazy, I know, but my mom got migraines, so she knew this would help. Excedrin Migraine starts to relieve my pain in 30 minutes, plus sensitivity to light, sound, even nausea. Excedrin Migraine works.
The makers of Excedrin Migraine. #1 neurologist recommended.
So what we're looking for is a way to plus our accounting firm's mobile plan.
And minus our expenses. Perfect timing. We're offering our best ever pricing on mobile plans for business. Run the numbers on that. Well, unlimited talk and text and 10 gigs of data for the 5 of you would be
$175 a month.
Good calculating, Kyle. Good job, Kyle.
You just made partner.
Our best ever pricing on mobile share value plans for business. Now with a $100 bill credit for every business line you add.
With a cool...
Internet Essentials from Comcast is our $9.95 a month internet service for qualified families with children eligible to participate in the National School Lunch Program. From now through September 20th, qualified families may enroll to receive up to 6 months of free Internet Essentials service. Being online is essential for your child's success.
It's been a wonderful experience to be able to be a part of this program because it's something that helps my family.
Opportunity awaits. Call or apply online today.
What happens to your internet when everybody's online at once?
It's very frustrating.
Run into bandwidth issues.
Xfinity delivers the fastest and most reliable in-home Wi-Fi. I bet we can have all 3 of these guys on their devices and download our favorite HD show. You're going to be impressed.
Never seen something download that fast.
Everyone can be on their devices all at the same time.
So, flipping fast.
Get the fastest in-home Wi-Fi with Xfinity Internet. You can't get that with UVerse. Or get started for $19.99 a month free year. See for yourself. Call 855-215-FAST today.
Shipping, and even pay the return postage. Try NoNo risk-free today.
Weather Geeks, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
Minutes past the hour. Welcome back into Wake Up with Al. Coming up tomorrow on the show, we continue Survival Week on the Weather Channel's survival expert, Creek Stewart. He is going to put Al and I to the test to check out our knowledge on survival skills. That should be interesting. Plus, we're going to track the storms headed into the Northeast for your first day of school and back to work after a 3-day weekend. But first, we want to turn to Carl Parker for a look at what's happening in the tropics. And Carl, we have a little spin going on in the Gulf, but it's very, very broad still.
Yeah, and we think it's probably not going to be able to develop that much. It's going to have about 24 to 36 hours out over the open water, and it might get a little bit stronger. We might be looking at a tropical depression or a tropical storm. Right now, it looks like it wants to take aim on northeast Mexico. So here's the latest on that feature. It's an invest area right now, just a tropical wave right now. It's being given a 70% chance of developing in the next 5 days, and we're starting to get some visible pictures. So we've got a little circulation likely coming offshore here in the Yucatan. There could actually be a couple of them coming offshore, and there's been a fair amount of weather over the Yucatan. In fact, we'll look at the radar picture in Cancun over the last 5 hours, and it's raining pretty much non-stop there. That rain is going to be moving on later today, and here is the model. This is the GFS model showing this circulation, not a terribly strong one, but a circulation nonetheless, moving towards northeast Mexico tomorrow. But because of the difference in pressure between that low and high pressure off to the north, you've got a large area of onshore winds and a long fetch, which is to say winds blowing over the same direction, from the same direction over a very large area of water. So what that's going to do is generate larger waves, and the swells could be on the order of 3 to 5 feet there along the Texas Gulf Coast. That's the European model showing something similar. And because of that higher wave action, that raises the stakes in terms of the rip current threat, which right now is high in South Texas, South Padre Island, and then getting up towards Corpus, a moderate threat, and it's a low threat in Southeast Texas. But keep in mind, folks, this can be very serious, and we actually had a few people lose their lives last week because of rip currents on both ends of the country. So here's the model forecast showing you the center of circulation as it moves into Mexico. We could get some heavier rain in deep South Texas and northeast parts of Mexico. Some chance for flooding farther to the north, but again, at this point, it does not look like it's going to be a tremendously strong system. Now, here's the other invest area that we're watching, south and west of Mexico. This, too, being given a 70% chance of developing, and it will likely move off to the north and to the west. So here you see a large area of thunderstorms looking pretty healthy, at least in terms of the thunderstorms. And as we show you the model forecast here, these are the ensemble members of the American model, the GFS model, and most of them take this storm offshore, but the GFS operational model actually does take it a little closer to the coast. So it may be that it's of concern to us in Cabo San Lucas later this week. We could be looking at a circulation not very far away from Cabo. So that certainly does bear watching, and we'll continue to do that. All right, let's get a look at what's going on around the U.S. right now, and here's Keith with the latest on that.
All right, thanks, Carl. Let's take a look at your national picture here, and severe weather we're watching in through the Midwest here. Chicago, one of the spots we're going to be watching. Look at the west, though. It is very quiet out there. The southwest monsoon starting to settle down, so not a whole lot going on. Again, in through Chicago and down into parts of Missouri, you're going to see some severe weather possibility. The other big story is the heat into the northeast. It is hot. Here's a look at your next 12 hours on your high-resolution model, and there's that line of showers and thunderstorms kind of driving through the afternoon, early evening. And the main threats here are going to be some straight-line winds as well as some large hail. There's a small tornado threat, but not as much as what we saw yesterday. Here's Kansas City around 10 or 11 o'clock with the storms rolling on through. If you push a little bit farther to the east, it's a little bit more scattered. So in through the Ohio Valley, these showers and storms are more kind of pop-up variety ahead of the front. Indianapolis in line for some stronger storms as we head into the afternoon. Then again, a lot of these tend to kind of fizzle down later on in the evening as things settle down. And again, the Northeast hot today. Temperatures in the 80s, low 90s, but the humidity really, really juicy. So it feels a lot warmer than the air temperature would indicate. Down in D.C., they're going to feel like they're in the upper 90s tomorrow. They'll feel low 100s, and a few popcorn showers and thunderstorms popping up just because of all that instability in the atmosphere with the heat and humidity. Steph?
That's going to do it for this Labor edition of Wake Up with Al. Thanks for being with us on this holiday. Enjoy your day. Al is back tomorrow. Before then, however, we got to get to Vivian Brown and Kyla Grogan. They are up next. We'll see you here tomorrow morning at 5:30. Have a good one, everybody.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, scattered thunderstorms. High 88. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 78. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.